All right, now that we have the assembly all finished and our parts are all together, we can go on to the last part of designing our wine box, which is creating a drawing of it. So just move that out of the way. We're going to go down to the insert new element, and you will see that, you'll see that there's an option to create drawing. So it'll bring up this page, and you're not going to change any settings. You'll just hit OK, have no views on, and then it should bring you to a new tab that is set up exactly like this. So to start, we can bring in our views that we want to have for our plan. So the first ones that we had on ours were the side gable. So I'm just going to do that. Bring in side gable. Everything should be set up to 1:6 scale, so it should come out something like this. So you'll see that. I just clicked once and then clicked again onto the page. So after that, after you click one time, you should be able to, this rectangle should appear, and you'll be able to bring another view down, which is the view we actually want. So by clicking again, you will then, now you'll have two views of our side gable. So right away we can put in a note. There's the big A, which is a note. Just so we don't start to confuse things again, we'll do side gable. I'll just make this wider and click check mark. And we can even get out of this and center it up a bit. And then we're not confusing our pieces. So now we have our side gable there. Then we want to bring in another view of our box, or another part. So we can click projected view again, go down on the arrow, insert view, and then click insert again. And now we will bring out the back piece. So as you can see, it brought out the piece, but we're looking at the side because our front view is enabled up here. So I'm just gonna, I'll bring that in. That's a view we need. So I'll click there. And sometimes it might show you what you want. So we are now looking at, so we'll just place that down, and if it's not something we need, we can delete it. So this is the view we need. We have the side of it and if we were looking directly at it from inside the box, so that's perfect. Again, we'll go, let's make a note of this saying that that piece is the back. Check mark and move it right there, so we are good. Next, we will bring in another view. So going down on the arrow of projected views, we insert, and we're going to go to front. So the front and back will be on the same part of the page, just so we don't confuse things. So this has loaded it in, but it is the side again. So I'll just place that there, click, and another click right there. So that is not the view we need. So I'm just going to deselect this and then hit backspace on it, select that, press backspace, insert view, insert front, and then we'll change it from the front view to the left view, as if we were looking at it from the left, which is the inside of the box. So as you can see here now, I can deselect that, and that is the view we want. So again, let's do a quick note. We have the front piece here now. All right, so we're 3 pieces down. We just need the top and the bottom. So we'll start with the bottom. Insert bottom, and we'll see what view it brings out. It's bringing out the front, so it's giving us a side view technically. So we will just click there, and then if we bring it up, it should give us the top, which is what we need. So there is our bottom. Again, we quickly do, oops, we're going to do note saying bottom. And the last view we need is the top. So we'll click down, insert top. So we'll see, I think it's going to bring in this, yep, this view. And click, go up. And that is our 2 views we need for that. So we'll make a note, top. So let's look into dimensioning for the side gable. We'll zoom in a bit here. We need enough measurements to be able to build the project, but not too many that it's going to confuse us and cause a lot of busyness in the drawing, which leads to inefficiency and other things that we don't really need. So just enough to be able to build it, and that's fine. So we'll get out a note, and then now you see here we have dimension. So I'm going to start with doing the thickness of this piece. So this piece, I can tell you that by clicking this corner and this top part of it, it will give us the thickness of the piece, which will, if you have it in here, will look like that. That's a little bit busy, so we'll keep it maybe up, just like this, and just about there. So now it's saying our measurement is 0.75. So you know what, I'll do another dimension up here, clicking on that corner and this corner, and you'll see that we have 5.500. So this is fine, but we're going to change the properties of our drawings. So you can either right click after you deselect this, right click, go drawing properties, or you can click this little wrench and then go to it here. So as we see, we have inches on our units. We have precision. So if I was to change the precision, our decimal places would drop to 2 decimal places. We want to change that to inches fractional for the whole drawing. So that's when we look at a tape measure and say, okay, that's 3/4 of an inch, and this one is 5.5 inches. It's just a lot easier for us to look at it and less busy if it's not a decimal, and we don't have to convert anything. So we have inches fractional. That's good. I'm going to go over to dimensions. I'm going to change this arrowhead to just 0.1 and see what that does. So that just cleans it up a little bit where we don't really need the big arrows. So that is good, and everything else is correct. So we can click that drawing properties wrench again, and it'll disappear. So now that we have these measurements here, we can go ahead and dimension everything else that we need. So we have 3/4 of an inch thick there. I'm just going to go from this corner to this one, and we will, well, we don't want that. We want it like this. So that's saying that this part, so it's basically half. We're going to router out half of our thickness. So that's telling us that. So we have 5.5 3/8 thick there, 3/4, and then we can also do some measurements for this part here. We'll tell everyone that this is 3/4, so that's good. That's our joint for the side, and then we'll go to this side and say that this measurement is 3/8, and then we'll do it on the bottom and say that this measurement in the middle is 3/8. So that's telling us that this bottom and this is the same on the top and bottom. So we know that. We don't need to measure every portion or every part of the drawing. So these are all in inches or fractions of an inch, so that's good. We also are missing one measurement, one key measurement, which is the length of our piece. So I can put that in. That's 15. We have 5.5, thickness of our grooves and our side pieces. So that's an example of what we need for our dimensions to build the project. I think everyone can do the rest of the dimensioning on their own, because if I were to do this, it would take a lot longer than we need. So I think with our notes, our dimensions, that will all give us enough information to build the projects physically in the shop. So if you want, you can go down to deselect that. These are preset text boxes. If you double click, you can say, we'll just Mr. Ferguson, enter. We'll just do wine box, and then those we can click correct, just check mark, those will disappear. Drawing number is all fine, 1:6 scale, and everything else is good. So that gives us our plan drawing and everything we need to build, and after that we will be assembling and starting to cut all the material with this information that we have now. So that